Tricogha. You gotta be tough as nails to make it there. Used to be a city of dreams, but now the dreams are all dead. Story once. A priest, a thief, a taxi driver, and a mobster named Stepano. Wait, let me start from the beginning.
Hello, world. I'm Norman Rafferty, he, him, and I work for Sanguine Games, where we made this game called Urban Jungle. It's a tabletop role-playing game where people pretend to be talking animal people in the early 20th century. I like to think it's a lot of fun. Today, we're going to go ahead and show off the way the game works. I've had some requests to show off the mechanics an introduction. Normally, we do these at conventions, but apparently there's been some difficulty with conventions in the years 2020 and 2021. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to use this through the power of the internet. I am joined today by 3 intrepid adventurers. One of them is our regular Arkloid. Arkloid, I'd like you to tell me about your character's name, and specifically your character's species, what kind of critter it is, the type of character it fits into an urban jungle noir setting, and the career that this character has, the kind of job that it does every day.
Very well. My name is Arkloid. I'm playing Pastor Beauregard Fitzgerald Jr. of the Church of St. Peter in Chains. He is an opossum, and his type is crooked. His career is clergy. His personality is lustful, and his motto is Lord, grant me wisdom.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that motto. Can you say that again?
Lord, grant me wisdom.
A day goes by when I don't say that. Now, every character starts the game with a personal goal. In the future, I, as the game host, will be assigning goals, but everybody gets to start with one goal. Tell me, what is Father Beauregard's starting goal?
To convert a lost soul.
There we go. Okay. I'm also joined today by a new person. Thank you for supporting the game. This is Lord Zeppelin.
Greetings and bienvenue to all you viewers out there.
Yes. They don't have a camera, but that's okay. And Lord Zeppelin, so once again, we start every session by having people describe their characters. Tell me your character's name, career, type, and species, please.
Well, my character's name is Arsene Cooper. He's a cat, and he is a thief. I am also a bit lucky.
You know, that all of that makes sense. Now, your character also has a personality, which is something you can do to boost one of your roles. What is your personality?
I am bold, or as I like to describe it, as confident and courageous.
There we go. And also, every character starts the game with a personal motto, so I can understand what your character is on about. What is your motto?
Never confuse a single loss with a final defeat.
I think that's one from the book.
Yeah, it is. I'm not very original.
Hey, it's helpful. I'll show off how this helps in the game. And everyone gets to start the game with a personal goal. Hopefully, you didn't give Dirty Frank that bullet he so richly deserves. That's my favorite starting goal.
No, sorry. Sorry to disappoint. My initial goal is to steal a police file regarding a local gang.
Very specific. So we usually encourage folks to make their goals a little more generic, but I can work with that. Because you'll get an experience point reward. And also today we are joined by one of our irregulars. Shifter is back. So Shifter, tell me about your character, name, species, and career, and type.
Sure, it's good to be back, guys. I am playing today a ferret that is a my goodness, I lost track. Loner, and is transit for his career. His motto is just keep looking forward. Personality is devoted, and his goal, since he is my goodness, I'm so sorry. A drifter is to find a home.
So you don't, yeah, I was about to ask what kind of personality is devoted for someone who's a drifter, but you've always wanted to find a home.
Yep. Whenever he finds people that he could trust, he gets devoted, attached easily.
There we go. So, all right, well, I am the game host. So the way the game works is I present a situation, the players. The players will control one character each. I'm like a director, but I also am the supporting cast, the writer. I mean, these folks do some improv. I control a lot of things today. So today we're going to be setting folks in the 1920s in an exciting fictional city known as Tricogha, jewel of the Midwest. This is a city that is torn apart by gang activity. Big mistakes. This book city is described in detail in the book itself. I'll probably make some factual errors, which you'll point out during the game, but it's okay. So Arsène Cooper is looking to make a name for himself because he calls himself a lucky thief, but until now, it's just been penny ante kind of stuff. You're a beginning character. No one's impressed. So you set yourself the goal of steal a police file, huh?
Yes, that is correct. If I may describe a bit about my character.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I only steal from those that I deem that deserve to be stolen from, like say some rich aristocrat or some crooked mob boss or something.
Modeled after Arsène Lupin, the famous.
That is actually one half of what my character is based on.
Do we have any? Do we have any Raffles fans here? Can they read Raffles from the movies? Also, a gentleman thief. The gentleman thief was a popular genre in the 1910s. So you're kind of a dying breed. These days, it's not the age of chivalry, but the age of chiselry, where we have the brutal butchers who commit their murders in broad daylight. But that hasn't changed your outlook, Cooper. You still in it for the challenge, huh?
Yep, pretty much.
Well, I'm sure Father Beauregard knows a different side because you've been running St. Peter in Chains, or working for that large church, and I'm sure you've seen horrible things, right?
Seen and heard horrible things. He's had to give last rites at accident scenes. He's had to comfort grieving widows and people who've lost their children. So I was almost considering a jaded personality, but I think he doesn't. His faith in the Lord allows him to not let that get him down.
And of course, a drifter like Fernando would, of course, in this day and age, might lean on the help of the church. I'm going to assume that St. Peter in Chains is also large enough that it also has a Young Men's Christian Association attached to it, or YMCA. And so drifters come in and out. This is an excellent place for someone like Fernando to be crashing because they don't have a home of their own. And a not so excellent place for someone like Arsène Cooper to be crashing. But hey, needs must, and sometimes you don't have some money in your pocket. But the two of you have heard about prospects here because Beauregard has a bit of a reputation. I believe you have a reputation of being someone who gets things done and gets wheels greased, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. A crooked priest by trade. And so when folks like Fernando and Arsène come looking for work to make this go a little bit faster, there is work to be done. Because Beauregard, you are very, very well connected with the Bonaviri mob. Now, the Bonaviri, they call themselves a mob, but they're really a gang. They're a short gang that controls basically, Peter Street and the small area that you're in. They are currently small time, but they might be on their way up. There's been a problem after the latest gang war between the Brazio mob and the Purple Gang had a big shootout and got some police crackdown and some G-men involved. There's been a big shakeup, and Bonaviri smell blood in the water. And your personal contact is a fat cat known as Stefano, who is basically the grandson of the Godfather Bonaviri, who come into town. And Stefano happens to, after the Sunday Mass, comes to call upon you, Beauregard. He says, and bring those 2 guys that you said were looking for work.
All right. Well, then Beauregard will go into the YMCA attached to the church and ask the. I sure they have a receptionist to like take people in and go check them in and check them out, and he'll ask her for those 2 new guys, and he'll describe what he knows about them. I don't know if he knows your names or not. Has he been told?
Once again, it's low rent housing. So, excuse me a moment here. Too many windows. Too many windows. Too many windows. I'm back.
Yeah, you dropped out for a sec.
Did my camera shut off?
Yes.
That's weird.
There it
Okay, I'm
goes.
back. Yeah. Computer. Okay, so I'm back. So yeah, so you'll gather up these 3, and Stefano is what they call a made man. He wears an expensive but ill-fitting suit, and he explains stuff, and also talks with hands a lot. He is a second-generation American, so he doesn't have really an accent. He talks like a Tricoghan local, which is probably why he's handling a lot of business. And he's gonna look at you 2, and for you guys dress very nice for drifters. I can't help but notice that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Are you both wearing fancy outfits?
Hmm. Well, I'm wearing a somewhat fancy outfit.
Okay. In game terms, and instead of trying to describe every little bit of equipment that players have, we often just refer to an outfit, which is basically how you're dressed.
Right.
And there's 3 common outfits in the game: the fancy outfit, the rough outfit, and the handy outfit. If you have a fancy outfit, you're dressed to impress. I'll give you a bonus die. We'll explain die rolls later when you try to impress people. Look how fancy I am, huh? The handy outfit is basically your average handyman, where you've got a tool belt, loops, toolbox, that sort of thing. That gives you a bonus if you have to work with tools and have to work with your hands. The rough outfit is the leather jacket, the heavy hobnail boots, maybe even like a cigarette case over your heart in case someone tries to shoot it. And the handy outfit gives you a bonus when you have to get rough and take damage. The problem, of course, with an outfit is you look like you're dressed. If you show up in a rough outfit, everyone knows you came looking for trouble today. So I'm going to assume Cooper is in a fancy outfit. Beauregard is in a clerical outfit, which is like a fancy outfit.
Well, he only came with a fancy outfit. Unless you want me to just have a clerical outfit, I'll be glad to take it.
Well, that's the kind of fancy outfit you have. You're dressed like a priest.
Okay.
So, we didn't bother to specify that. I mean, come on, it's a game, guys. We wave over. And so Fernando, do you also dress nice? Because I can't help but notice those natty chauffeur threads that you like to wear.
I am dressed as a rough outfit, and I just see mine's kind of candy down taxi outfit.
So you're wearing motorcycle leathers and knee pads and heavy boots.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, you don't look. So your picture may look like a fancy chauffeur, but you are dressed like a biker.
Right.
Okay. Well, Stefano's going to look at the 2 of you and just kind of nod and is like, so Bo, this is better than the usual folks that you bring us.
Yes, my son.
These guys aren't bullet magnets like the other ones. Oh, that was not pretty. And Stefano smiles at you. He has a crooked tooth.
And Beauregard, he'll just adjust his tie a little bit, otherwise keeping silent. Like, no, I'm not going to add any more details to this than already there.
I've been talking to the Padre here, and he says that you 2 got a lot of the book smarts, that you 2 are pretty clever. Also, you're from out of town. I can tell that just from looking at you. So you guys think you're pretty smart?
Well, I'm not one to brag, but I do.
Are you okay there?
Not words, are you?
Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
It's all right. I get that a lot. People get nervous at my presence. because people, can tell that we get things done. So yeah, so I need a job, and I need a job for somebody who's smart. You guys look like you've at least got an 8th grade education, so you can like read and stuff, right? You know that C comes after B comes after A.
Eh, Uh, if I may, can I roll an observation roll to see what I can tell from this guy, if anything? See if I can pick up something that
Okay.
a normal glance wouldn't give me.
I'd like to introduce you folks to the first mechanic in the game, which is called die rolling, which is where we go ahead and roll. Now, when we make a skill roll in the game, it's a mix and match system where we go ahead and we pick an attribute, and then we go ahead and pick a skill to match it with. It's good etiquette, I like that, to ask me, the game host, before you roll, because sometimes players will shout and roll really fast, and like, we didn't tell you to roll anything. So if you roll really fast and it's really good, we have to tell you, sorry, we didn't tell you to roll. So that's good etiquette. I like that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tell you what dice you're going to roll. Now, observation is the skill of noticing details about people. And it's a very loaded skill. People like to use it a lot. But you actually want to know what Stefano is on about, right? You want to use some deductive Sherlock Holmes type reasoning and detective vision and figure out who I am and what I'm up to, right?
Basically, yes. Also, if I can maybe like deduce some like minor personality details, like he's in like
That's not observation. Observation is seeing things that are around you and also your initiative roll when you get into combat. The skill you're
okay.
looking for is questioning, because you want to know who I am, what my personality is. That's covered by the questioning skill. So
Okay.
the first question I have for you is, do you have any dice in questioning?
No, I do not. Yeah, I only
That's
have
fine.
dice.
You can still roll.
Okay,
Then-
what do I roll for that?
Well, this would be, I also said I pair this with one of your basic attributes. There are 4 basic attributes in the game: body, which is physical; speed, which is also physical, but how fast you are; mind, which is how smart and observant you are; and will, which is your force of personality. This would be mind, because you are looking into this. Now, before you roll, don't roll just yet. Don't
Right.
roll yet. Okay, so go ahead and find your mind die. What is your mind die?
That would be a D8.
Okay, so we're going to roll D8. Now, in questioning, you don't happen to have any. You can get questioning dice from 3 sources: your species, your career, and your type. Unfortunately, you don't have any of those because thieves get other things, like observation, the ability to see where valuables are hidden. So we're still good. The next question is, do you have any gifts? You started the game with 6 gifts, unique abilities, 2 of them from species, 2 of them career, 2 of them from type, that define what kind of character you are. Do any of these gifts apply to talking with criminals?
Let's see. Not that I can see.
As a thief, did you start the game
wait.
with the gift of streetwise?
Oh, hold on. I only have 5 here, weirdly enough. I don't know what happened to the 6th. Hold on.
You might have written it under soaks. So a soak
yeah.
is a kind of gift.
Oh,
Okay, let me check here. I thought thieves start with it, but I might be mistaken. I'm gonna look at my rule book. Do you remember what 2 gifts you start with for being a thief?
I think it was the. Hold on, I have it open real quick. Let me just.
It's
thieves start
sabotage
with-
and sleight of hand.
Yeah, thieves start with sabotage and sleight of hand. So you start with the ability to disable traps and pick locks, and you also start with the ability to pick pockets. So no, so you don't actually have streetwise. So unfortunately, in this case, it's like, yeah, you observe the man. He looks like a nicely dressed man, although a little sinister. But you want to know what lurks deep within his heart. Alas, these are skills you don't yet have. You'll be able to buy them later, but you don't yet have them. So the only dice you have to roll in this case would be your mind die. So let's go ahead and roll that mind die of a D8. Now, this is going to be a regular roll. This will just be a challenge. For every success you can score, I can give you some detail. Every 4 or better will be a success. So go ahead and roll.
Okay, so it's /R1D8 on roll 20.
/R space 1D8.
Right, gotcha.
There we go. Perfect. So you have a 4 or better, so you scored 1 success. You would be able to tell something that about half the people would be able to pick up just by looking at a guy. Okay, this guy is clearly a gangster, and you can tell from the way he comports himself and the way he is not as entirely respectful about Father Beauregard that he is indeed like I said, a made man and a high-ranking gangster. What's one question you'd like to ask me about this, Matt?
Uh, you know, well, first, one thing I'm a little confused about because I was originally assuming we were at the YMCA, but are we at like his office or something?
You are at the YMCA. He came to see
Okay.
you.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So he's not that high rank.
okay. Yeah. So, yeah. What are you asking me to?
You wanted to read the guy's personality. I told you he's a
Okay.
gangster who's come here to give you a job. What else do you want to know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, what I want to ask hasn't been like revealed yet, like what the job entails. So I guess
Okay,
I'll
well,
say
he was about to tell you that. So you guys, but since you rolled one success, I want to give you a bonus here in the negotiation. So you can tell that whoever this guy is, he isn't very high. He has authority. He's a made man, but he's of course not high enough ranking to make you come to see him. So whatever he's going to do today is probably going to be a low level job. So you probably don't want to negotiate too hard. But on the other hand, you don't want to seem like a pushover.
right. Okay.
Given even though you're because you're a thief, but see, you're not a made man yourself. You don't have streetwise or favors or anything like that. You've been stealing on your own. This is the first time you'd actually get involved in organized crime. That's a big step. Are you ready for that step?
I guess I am.
What's your motto?
Never confuse a single defeat with a single loss with a final defeat.
Right. So yeah, let's go ahead and if you have to give a little today, that's okay. It's all part of getting made. So
Right.
yeah, Ando's going to explain here is all right. So I need two people who have clean. Father Bo here vouches for you, so I'm sure he's going to do it. And Father Bo knows that to do us a favor means that we'll go ahead and do a favor for him. Isn't that right, Padre?
Yes, although we all do this out of the kindness of our hearts and our shared love of the Lord.
Ah, you kill me, Padre. Yeah. So speaking of kindness, I need some people who can keep a low profile because I'm going to need to send you to prison. Now, it's not like that. Okay. So you guys from out of town, you probably haven't heard about the Stateville Prison.
No.
No, it's not too. It's too far out of town. It's still building. They built it in the 19th century, like around the 1800s. Low security, nothing to worry about. But I'm not sending you guys in there because what I need some of you to get into the clerk's office. I need you to pick up a file for me. There's an evidence file in there because somebody is filing to go ahead and get out. Because people got nothing better to do in prison, apparently, than file court orders to try and get themselves out. There's a file on a guy by the name of Frankie Labrazio. And you've got one success on your questioning roll. You may have heard what I said earlier about the Labrazio mob. The Labrazio mob are currently the big mob that are trying to take over the city. And they've been dealt a bad blow. And when Stefano here says that Frankie Labrazio is currently in prison, I need you to go in there and get his file and bring it back to me. If you can't bring it back to me, I need you to lose it.
I see.
It's simple, right? Just get in and get out, right?
It shouldn't be too much big a problem.
No, you guys are nicely dressed. You could walk in there, say you know something, you're here to file something, you're here to visit someone. You guys look pretty innocent. No one can connect you with my organization anyway. The father here knows where the prison is because he's there all the time, and he's got it even better. He's going to use the company car. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Padre. He's going to use the church car to go ahead and drive you all the way there. Isn't that right, Padre?
Yes.
Yeah. See, Padre knows how things are done around here, and now you kids are going to know how things are done. So once you get this done, uh, easy peasy lemon squeezy, I'll give you $500,000. How does that sound? That's more money you've ever seen in your life, isn't it?
Yeah.
When he says that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
When
wow, he
he said
talks.
that, yeah, I'm curious. I want to use
Mm.
observation to see if he actually has that kind of money, because it's a lot of money. Should be throwing out for 2 people, if that's fine with you.
If I have the money on me,
To see if he has that amount of money with him, or about him, or if he just putting out money prices. Because he could be
let's
lying.
see, if he came carrying $500,000. Well, the next thing I'm going to do is introduce you to another role in the game called the rote. Instead of
Oh,
asking players to roll all of the time, we can just
mhm.
assume that you just casually succeed.
Okay.
Rolling an observation roll like this would be mind and observation. Do you have any observation dice?
Yes, I do.
How many dice do you have? 1, 2, or 3?
I believe I have 3 plus the
Right.
stat, which would be 4.
So you've got 3 dice, which is 4. So instead of rolling, we can just assume that you score half a success for every die. You've got
Mhm.
4 dice, you could score 2 successes. If I don't think the
Okay.
roll is, no one's trying to kill you, it's not time sensitive, there's no
Right.
penalties for failure. You could just rote your observation and score 2 successes just by casually looking around. I can
That's
tell
fine.
you that from scoring 2 successes, no, he is not carrying $500 on it. In modern money, that would be something like $20,000, and there's no way he'd be carrying all of that on.
Okay.
And I was thinking of showing everybody how negotiation works, but he's giving us $500,000. I have no reason to negotiate with that.
If you
No.
get us the file and you can't get any heat in the process, you're supposed to get in and get the file and get out. If they know the file is missing, that's going to ruin everything.
Right.
Because I need that. And I need that done in the next 48 hours.
Mhm.
Now, Padre here vouches for you. So you guys think you can do this?
You
All
count
right.
on us,
Yes.
Signore.
Well, I've got some other appointments because I'm a busy man. All right. So if you need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of the Padre here, and the Padre knows how to get a hold of me.
Understood.
But remember, if you guys get caught, we've never met.
Right.
Now, if you excuse me, I'm off to see a horse about a man. And Stefano is going to leave unless you want to stop him.
No.
This leaves. All right. So now I, as the game host, can offer you a goal. You already started with 1. I'm offering you a second one. And that goal is get the Labrizio file, or the Frankie Labrizio file. You can write this goal down in your character sheet. If you accomplish this goal, I will reward you with more character power, like experience points or gifts.
Nice.
If you fail this goal, I will give you nothing.
All right.
Now, armed with this knowledge, I'd like to go ahead and move into a more montage type time. So he told you to go to the prison. He told you the name of the prison, and he told you the name Frankie Labrizio. That's pretty much all you know, unless you start doing some abilities to gather information on things, or if you want to make some sort of preparations before you go. What would you like to do?
Excuse me. Let's see. I think I would like to, before we properly go to the prison, is there any way to observe the prison from like a vantage point? Like, can I scope out the area of the prison?
You could
I-
indeed scope out the area. You could go there and physically check it out. It's about 15 miles out of town, which takes about like a half an hour to get to, because not only do you have to deal with city traffic, but you know that fancy highway system? It doesn't exist. So you'll be driving on a lot of dirt and gravel roads.
I am a motorist, so I could take the company car or my
And by the company
taxi.
car, he means the truck they use to deliver toys to orphans.
Well, I'm a motorist by
Right,
career,
you
so
know how to drive, so you could probably get there
yeah.
faster because you're
But
not
with
relying
my
on default.
equipment, I actually have a car, my own personal car.
Oh, you have
So
your
I
own
figure,
car.
yeah.
Excellent.
So I made my character like a taxi driver because he's a motorist, and that's how
Yeah.
I figure. Yeah,
Did it say that you started with a car?
yes, my own automobile with 33 payments left on it.
Yes.
So I was thinking maybe
Okay,
we
let me
could go
go ahead
together, and they won't suspect a taxi driver anywhere around there. You know what I mean? Like, as suspicious.
there we go. Your car probably looks a lot like this. Probably the one on top.
Nice.
Oh, that's a Studebaker.
Yeah.
Better than the
So-
Gambler motor carriage.
Yeah. So notice it's not properly enclosed.
Right.
But yeah, good enough for a cheap taxi. Not, only 32 payments left.
Exactly.
Always breaking down, easy to fix, which is good because it's always broken.
Well, I figured we could probably just stroll up on there, and I could
You
do
could,
observation.
you could indeed. Your car has a lot of miles on it because you're not in town very long. So you
Right.
volunteer the use of your car, which would, by the way, be a lot better. Your car is in better condition and better racing. The the church truck, because vans aren't quite a thing yet, is going to be a lot more slower and ungainly.
Right.
This is a proper getaway vehicle. So yes, you could go to the site and scope it out with some observation yourselves if you want to go do that. Is there anything you want to do before you leave the city?
Can we go? Is there like a store or something where we can buy some minor equipment, just in case we need it? Like,
I'm going to shed a tear. Why, yes, there is definitely a Sears and Roebuck. Yes, there's definitely a general store where you can load up. Now, you started with a, like I said, fancy outfit. If
Right.
you want to go ahead and switch to a handy outfit, there's also, there's also sneaky outfit, which is where it's all in black and you have the hood and you have all the burglar's tools and that kind of stuff. But the problem with the sneaky outfit is it gives you a sneaky outfit will give you a bonus to burglary, but if anyone looks at you, you look like a burglar.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's
I
not like
would
they're
try
gonna.
to.
Yeah, unlike my current outfit, they won't mistake me for an encyclopedia salesman.
no, in fact, with your fancy outfit, you look like you might actually either work at the prison in some sort of clerical capacity, or you might be from the mayor's office.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So you like in other words, you would get a bonus to pass as someone who dresses fancy.
All right. Yeah. Well, I was mostly going to buy some like equipment, like say some binoculars or something, if we want to get like an
Well,
if there's an
instead of handling the cash that's in your pocket, let's see. I assume that you would go looking for tools and looking for bargain. So why don't you go ahead and make a roll of mind and observation?
All right. Hold on.
And when I say observation, that includes all of your observation dice.
Right.
Normally, I'd ask for a negotiation, but you're actually just looking for common cheap tools that can help you in your job.
All right. Hold on. So that's
Yep.
1d6. How do we add like a?
You put a plus sign, so it's
Okay.
1d8 plus 1d6. You can even do 1d8 plus 1d6 plus 1d6. It works.
Okay. Hope this works.
It does. That's 3 successes. So, when you start going through, I mean, obviously they don't have a burglar's tool section, but hey, it's a bag. It's a canvas bag with a crowbar and a flashlight, and a file.
Yeah. Well, what I
Uh,
was, yep. Well, I was the cover story for that is I was going to go. Yeah. What would be the equivalent of like ornithology or something? Like
People ask those questions. Well, it's obviously not anthrobirds and anthrobirds. No, I need to go look at birds. You need a crowbar to look at birds? Well, yeah, that's how you attract crows. Crowbar.
Well, no, I wasn't looking for thieves' tools. I was just looking for like binoculars or something to make it look
3
like.
successes. If you want to buy some fancy tools, I will let you easily find your binoculars. Are there any other fancy tools you would want?
Okay. Let's see.
I'll let you ask for 2 fancy tools.
Yeah. I'm going. Is there like a list of something that I can use?
There's a list of stuff in the book. But a bunch of stuff, but I'm not sure if knowing about coffee or lanterns is going to help you that much.
Okay.
If it makes you feel any better because you scored 2 successes, I'll let you ask for 2 fancy tools to be named later. So make a note. You have 2 fancy tools to ask me about later.
Okay.
Well, one of the tools he might want is lockpicks.
But you also find your fancy binoculars. You go to the store, pick up a bunch of stuff, and most importantly, buy it at 2 or 3 different stores so people don't see you. That takes you a short while. Fernando and Bo, is there anything you want to do to prepare before you go?
Yes, Beauregard is going to. You go first.
I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna play taxi for our spy or thief.
You want to bust for some funds while you're waiting for everyone else?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Well, yeah, I guess driving for that. This is one of those cases where we can combine 2 skills together, which is what I like about this game. So you're going to go ahead and look for people to drive. And that's going to be a combination of how fast you can get people there and how smart you are at knowing direction. So I'm going to have you grab 4 wads of dice, a speed die, a mind die, all of your observation dice, and all of your transport dice.
Okay, this is gonna take me a minute. I'm sorry.
By the way, it's going to take you a while, but I'm also going to assume that you're a good driver. If you want to be a crooked driver, we can throw some deceit in there, but you might, this is another one of those bargains I like to do. You can throw your deceit dice in there if you want to rip people off, but if you don't roll very high, bad things might happen to you.
No, I'm gonna be honest driver.
And all right, so while he's doing that, Bo, so Cooper went off to go get some things. Ferd went off to go ahead and try to get some money. Bo, what are you gonna do?
He's going to call the prison and make an appointment to come and visit God's lost sheep. And
Okay.
In the process, he's going to mention offhandedly that he's going to be with a driver, and well, I think our thief is going to be doing a solo mission. This is going to be me running distraction.
Okay, well, I'm going to need you to make a roll of will and negotiation, and if you have any deceit dice, you can go ahead and throw that in there. This is sometimes what I call a courtesy roll, because if you don't like blow this roll, everything will probably be fine. But I mean, you're good with negotiation, right?
Yes.
In fact, I'm not even sure why I'm asking you to roll this. You could just wrote this. You are a priest. You call up and say, "Hey, I'm coming up to visit the prison, and I'm bringing this guy as my driver." Yeah.
I have 5 dice, 48s and 1d6. So
yeah.
I wrote that.
I mean, you don't even. Yeah, I would say you once again, roting. You could get 2 successes. 1 success is something people could do about half the time. 2 successes is something that a trained professional could do. And so, yeah, you call them up. I have all the skills necessary to prove I'm a priest because you've got the right dice. In other words, I don't really have to make you roll because you can do this. So I'm just introducing folks to the idea you don't always have to roll. Guy's got 4 dice. Boom. And your story checks out. You are Father Beauregard. So yeah, you call the board secretary, makes a note. They take down, because this is the 1920s. They take down your description so that when you show up, they look at you and make sure you're the right guy.
And he'll bring a few extra Bibles so he can, give those out to the prisoners he's talking to. Just really sell the whole thing.
Okay, write down you have a burden of Bibles.
A box?
Sadly, yes. I mean, yeah, box of Bibles. Blah! Does 1d4 damage. Fernando surprisingly comes in the few hours that he's gone. Even though he's not native to this city, I think as a professional drifter, he's learned that you have to pick these places up pretty fast. And even armed with the paper map he got from the Esso station, he is able to take a lot of fares. That's 6 successes. That's
I have a
it's almost
question.
like you're a professional driver. Once again, I could have made you wrote this, but this is the first time you've been in the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question too. I have the gift driver. Would I add that to that as well as my career for
Yeah,
being a
driver is
motorist?
a bonus D12 whenever you're in a motor car. So go ahead and roll an extra D12. In
And
game
should I
terms,
put my career too or no?
yeah. So just roll it. Just roll a D12 and just throw it in. Just type / roll D12.
Okay.
That's the nice thing about this system. We can just throw more dice in the pot.
Oof.
Okay, but hey, you had all that other stuff covered up.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so folks ask us like, what the skills are very broad, but you may have noticed there are gifts that are specialties. Like transport is everything. It's planes, it's boats, it's cars, but you get driving, which is a bonus D12 for a car. If you were a pilot, you get bonus D12 planes. If you were a rocket scientist, you get bonus D12 for the rockets, which we're not doing today.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, it's built into the game. There's a lot of specialty bonuses you can get. But yeah, with 3 successes, you go ahead and earn a fat stack of cash.
Nice.
I'm gonna have you earn a whopping $25. And before you get too excited, that's about $300 in fares.
Oh wow. I did good today.
Yeah, because after inflation and that sort of thing. Really, why am I going on this job with everybody else?
So
Exactly.
I wanted to tell you, I should have said this earlier, but in building my character, this is something for the new players as well. I ended up getting leadership twice, so I just raised my career to D8.
Oh, wow, how did you get leadership twice?
Crooked gets it, and so does clergy.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, but the actual official rule in the game is if you get something twice, you have
Oh,
to
you just get 5 XP?
you got to retrain it for 5 XP.
Okay, then I'll do that. I'm very sorry. I'll get.
Oh no worries. Well, let everybody gets one. I didn't realize that was even possible, but I know some people somehow do that. So don't worry too much about it. Yeah, if you somehow manage to get the same ability twice and it's not a stacking ability, you just get 5 XP.
That's a much better rule. Gets rid of a
Um,
lot of the abuses in Iron Claw.
we made Iron Claw before we made this game. Urban Jungle is very much designed to be leaner, meaner, and cleaner. So, all right. So the 3 of you come back before the sun has set. Did I mention that there's no highway system, so you'll be driving on roads? So if the sun sets, you only have your headlights to go by.
All right.
It's like they built the prison in far away from people. And yeah, no, 1920s driving is great. It's just great. No highways to speak of. But you just imagine.
Yeah.
I'm used to it, so let's go.
All right, so you go ahead and get in the car and drive out there. Once again, Fernando, you've got at least 2 dice in driving plus your professional driver.
Yes.
So, and Beauregard is in the car telling you where the prison is. So, because we're not in a hurry and I don't think it really matters that much, and you're in your own car, we'll just road and we'll have you drive about an hour or so to get to the prison.
That's fine.
I believe you can see the pictures of the prison on the map, right?
Yeah, we can see I can see them at least.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's neat that it does that. Yeah. So obviously you won't be able to get an aerial view of the prison. Tricogha is in the Midwest, and Midwest coming from the ancient Latin, meaning flat.
Hmm.
So there's no aerial views of the prison, but I gave this picture here so you can go ahead and see what this looks like. It's a long wall. The prison itself used to just be this building here. Which do I have? Every time you click on something, the spinny wheel turns into that. Yeah, which, as you can see, I don't know why they made it look like a medieval castle, but they did. I guess those are the watchtowers. But this has been converted into administration stuff. You see, the Stateville Prison is super modern. You haven't done a lot of research on it because you went getting tools and fab fairs and stuff. But everybody knows that, of course, the best way to keep anyone from doing anything is to constantly watch them at all time. So Stateville Prison has the panopticon construction, where you can see they have those round buildings on the map here. And basically what they do is they have one guardhouse, and then all the prison cells face this one building. Creepy, huh?
Clever.
Oh, wow, it does that. However, you don't need to go into the prison itself. You need to go into the administration building. Because somewhere in there will be the file. The person who's going to the prison itself is Father Beauregard. Because you're there to see the prisoners and pass out Bibles, right?
Right.
Okay. So when you get to the gate in your cute little motor car, there will be a dog guard who comes to see you. He's dressed in his prison outfit with his, he's only has a club. The people with guns are usually in the watchtower. Most of the time, they just carry clubs because you don't want to carry guns near prisoners. They can rob you. And he says, evening, Padre. It's a little late to be coming around passing around Bibles, is it?
It's never too late to do God's good work, my son.
Well, I'd say Father, not Padre. I'm a cop. Assume my Irish accent is, here omitted. Says, yeah, all right, well, you're on the list here. This is nicer than the thing you usually drive. Did someone donate this?
No, this is... okay, let me think of some real quick out of character here. I'm sorry.
But this is just...
One
you try to think of something real quick out of character.
This is my friend... what's the driver's name again?
Yeah, I love what's his name again. It's Fernando. I've been calling him Ferd. Padre, I just need you to make a really quick roll of will and deceit. Do you have deceit skill?
I do.
Wow, because you're crooked. Oh, that's right. You got leadership twice because you're a priest. Okay. All right.
And
So now
I think I'm going to use my favorite use of lying to authority.
Right. So I'd like to just do another rule called the favored use rule, which I didn't bring up before. You may notice there's an extra blank in your character sheet next to all your skills for favored use. This is where you can write a specialty. Like for example, my special with deceit is lying to authority figures, or lying to other criminals, or lying when I'm, burglaring your house or something like that. You make something up right here on the spot, and I'll let you re-roll one of your ones. So re-roll one of those ones, and you did. Once you write this favorite use down, it's yours forever. It costs points it's free to get, but costs points to change. But I like that we do it in the middle of play because it makes us feel a little bit better and makes you feel a little specialized. You can have favorite uses in all skills in the game.
As long as you have dice in them.
I don't. Yeah, I think you do have to have dice in it. I forget if we lifted that in Urban Jungle or not. But if you have any dice at all, you can definitely write down you have a favorite use.
In older systems, it would be if you had marks or...
Yeah, and then you just have to have dice. So, all right. So, yeah. So, in other words, this is like extra, it's just a little flavor to the game. I mean, our Father Bo here is specialized in lying to authority. All right. Well, I guess there's no reason for me, if the Father here vouches for you and the car looks decent, and also I'm bored and lazy at my job, I'm sure I'll let you guys in. None of you are carrying like secret burglary tools or anything like that. I'm just going to assume that well-dressed gentleman over there must be a missionary, and this is just your driver.
I tip my hat to him in greeting.
I
Um,
nod.
All right.
Yeah.
He waves you through. They open the first gate and then open the second gate. They'll let you take the car in. You park over there on that dirt patch. That I'm guessing. Gotta look at my picture here. Why don't spin? So is that new or am I just crazy? I think I'm just crazy. Okay, I'm looking at my 1920s outfit here. So I guess if your car came in through here, then yeah, I guess they just park you over here. Then all right, so Father Bo, your cover story is you're going to go and pass out Bibles, and you have a heavy box of Bibles. You carry it yourself, or you're going to have somebody else do this.
Well, I want to distract as many people as possible, so he's going to just hand it over to one of the other guards. That's one that's guard patrolling.
Says the guard. We're not. We're supposed to be guarding stuff. We're not supposed to be carrying your stuff. Where's yours? Aren't these two your assistants? What are they going to do? Just sit here in the car?
Yes, their job is driving, and this is my missionary friend.
Well, my job, he says, poking himself with his truncheon, is to guard the prisoners. Not here to help you pass this stuff out. These guys are lost causes anyway.
Are you not also supposed to keep your guests safe?
You're not my guests, and also these aren't guests. These are dangerous, violent criminals. If you ask me, I would have each one of them strung up from the gibbet like they deserve. But I'm just a paid jobber. I don't believe in rehabilitation, all this nonsense of criminal psychology. Everyone knows that criminal brains are something you're born with that's warped. It can never be fixed. I read the papers.
My son, with God, all things are possible.
Is the guard still holding up the big box of Bibles?
Oh, you didn't even take them.
Oh, well, I kind of shove. I kind of walk up to him and I put my hand on his shoulder and push the box into his hands. My good man, isn't it the job of any good Christian to help those in need? Isn't it the way of any good mammal or reptile or even bird to help his fellow animal? And as I'm going on this spiel, I use legerdemain to swipe his keys.
Okay. Two things going on here, which is awesome. I like the way you think. Okay, first of all, you came up to a guard and touched him without warning him first, which is not exactly prison etiquette. So in order to pull that off, you'd have to be a really smooth operator. And the skill of being a smooth operator is negotiation. I'd like you to make a roll of will, because you have nerves of steel, and any negotiation dice that you have.
I only have the D6 and will. Well, here's hoping.
Here's hoping.
Could I assist him?
Let's see. Arcloid, you have 2 successes in distracting the guard. I will let you go ahead and burn one of your successes to distract the guard and to give and because you're such a distraction. And that will automatically give Lord Zeppelin here a bonus D8. This is called assisting. If someone is nearby and scoring successes to either help somebody or do something on their own, they can give up some of their own successes to help someone else.
All right, I got a 4 and a 7.
That's 2 successes. Okay, with 1 success, the guard would let you off with a warning. No successes, he would club your ass. With 2 successes, you are indeed a smooth operator. So remember, that's the ranking of it. 1 success is something anybody can get away with. 2 successes is something only somebody skilled can get away with. So because because Father Bo is being very distracting, you managed to get up close to him before he shrugs you off. because he's not going to take the box. But this gives you an opening. You want to go ahead and pick his pocket. Picking his pocket is a roll of speed and deceit. And good news, you've distracted him enough with this heavy box and all those other moves that he won't automatically respond to this by clubbing you with a stick.
All right.
Because
So
you had the right idea. According to the rules, if you don't distract them first, people don't like it when you bump into them with their pockets. So go ahead and make a roll of speed and deceit. You need at least a 4 or better.
all right. Let's. Yeah, I only have the. D6 and deceit or speed. So here's something.
Does sleight of hand give you a bonus to this? I forget. Let me look at
Let
it.
me check real quick.
Sleight of hand allows you to do it.
Sleight of hand just allows you to do it. Okay. Yeah,
But I
give
think
you-
there's extra dice to it.
let me check because I'm quoting. Oh yeah, ledger demands a specific attack mode described in 88. Sorry, people often want to pick people's pockets in combat. So this is described. Here we go. It is speed, mind, and deceit. So go ahead and roll speed, mind, and deceit. You can use this in combat to steal people's weapons, but you can also use speed, mind, and deceit to take stuff out of people's pockets.
Okay. And so speed.
So speed, mind, and deceit.
All right.
And your good hand has to be empty, which it is.
All right.
Okay, that is one success. That would be good enough to take his to take away something obvious like his truncheon or his badge, but you want to dig around in his pockets, so we normally need 2 successes for that. So I'm going to introduce you to another rule, which is the personality rule. You have a gift in the game called personality that says you can tap this once every day to get a bonus D12 to any roll. Now you have 1 success, but you need a second success. You could tap your personality of bold, and what's bolder than picking the pockets of a guard, and then roll an extra die. So
Okay.
do you really want that key?
Can I use lucky or one of my other?
You could also use luck. You can tap luck once a story, like once this entire adventure, not once a day. Tap luck to re-roll any die. Luck is re-roll. Is it re-roll any or all? I forget. Luck's different. Okay.
Any and all dice.
Right. So you can tap your luck, which would also work. But that's up to you. Personality would be an extra die you get to roll. Luck would be you get to re-roll dice. You could also layer them. You could do personality if you don't like the way that happened, then use luck. Luck applies to any role in the game, so it's but then personality does too. So which one do you want to tap?
How often can I use my personality die?
Personality is once a day. So if your character takes a nap, it comes back. Luck is once this entire adventure.
Okay. So I'm going to use my personality to get a D12.
Okay. People usually use that first. But I mean, luck is really powerful because it re-roll all your dice. That's really cool.
Right.
Okay, go ahead and tap your personality.
11.
That's 2 successes. You pick his pockets and you get a ring of keys. And importantly, you not only pull out the ring of keys, you don't make any noise while you do it. Write down you have, let's see. Write down you will have Johnny's keys. No. Wait, don't hold that up. Link, world's worst pickpocket.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, but he holds the box from him and goes, no, wait, shoves it back in your face. Look, I've got prisoner. I can't believe we're even letting you guys in here in the first place, he says. I know you think every soul is worth saving, but that's not, I don't subscribe to that same. Sure, with God, all things are possible, but you ain't God. Carry your own Bibles yourself. You bring 2 guys here, and you're too lazy to even carry stupid city folk. I'm so angry. I'm going to go take it out on helpless people. Why am I laughing while I'm saying that? Am I the worst person?
Debatable. Okay,
I'll take it. That's the nicest thing anyone said to me all day. Okay, so yeah, so Johnny here is going to wander off, like look over his shoulder in disgust. You guys coming out this way, make us pass out freaking Bibles. Oh wait, I can't wander off. I'm supposed to. Yeah, you're supposed. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna wander. I'm supposed to escort Padre here into the cells. So yeah, so you need to come with me, and someone else is going to carry this box. You've got two guys here. What are you gonna do? Just sit here in the car?
Mm.
All right. He'll give the box to Fernando, and because
Yeah.
the driver greets the servant basically in this time in the zeitgeist.
Okay. What's your body stat, Fernando?
That is a D4.
Yeah, this is gonna look hilarious.
I'll
Uh,
have you know that I have the incredible strength of 100 tiny trembling chihuahuas.
Oh, that's enough to carry 50 Bibles. All right, so I guess without further complaint, they start leading you down the corridor into the Panopticon. Coming through. I forget my prison etiquette. So that's going to briefly, I guess he's just going to leave you here to guard the car or whatever. I guess you're some observant mission. Are you coming too? Asks the guard, or are you staying here?
Yeah. I guess I'm coming with them so I can. Well,
Well, remember your file that you're looking for is in the administration building. He's taking these guys somewhere else.
all right. I guess I'll stay with the car then. Yeah. So I'm gonna wait for
Okay,
them to
because I'm
get
not.
out.
He says, yeah, because you don't have a pass or anything like that, so don't go wandering around in places you're not supposed to be in. You look like a standing upright citizen to me who wouldn't do things like that.
And you guessed right, sir.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, this guard's name is Johnny Bean. And he leads them off to the Panopticon. After a while, Arsene, you can they're not watching the parking lot that much, but you can look up and you can see the towers and that sort of thing. Did you want to wander into the administration building boldly and with purpose? Did you want to sneak in, or did you want to do something else?
I was going to walk. I was going to first attempt to try and walk into the administration building and say that I was given a task by the Reverend to uh, to uh, like see what did he say that the file would be in the warden's office or something?
Stefano told you the file would be at the prison. Didn't say where. You're assuming it would be in the administration office.
Yeah. All right. Hmm.
Now, in other words, you're going to have to pace on it.
Sorry, what was that last part?
Pace the joint.
All right, I see.
You're going to have to look around. Let's see. You have 2 successes. Remember I said you have 2 tools, miracle tools I said you could go ahead and pick. Did you want to pick, say, a book on the prison?
Yeah, let's say
All right.
that's
Write
one of
down.
my.
All right. So one of your tools was the binoculars. The other one is the book on the prison. You managed to find an old book that described how the place was built in the 1850s and have its renovations. You managed to find this at like a thrift store because you rolled phenomenal successes. Yes, the administration building itself was converted, and you're guessing that because we live in an era before climate control, that a lot of times if there's records on prisoners, they would probably be kept in the morgue. And the not the morgue as in where they keep dead people, but in filing places that are usually kept in the basement. So that way people have to go move this because you don't refer to this a lot. They're inmates. They stay here for like 3 to 5 years and either let them in or let them out.
I gotcha.
But in order to get there, you'd have to get into the administration building. And obviously you're not supposed to go, The other thing is that would be protected. You'd have to sneak downstairs. You'd have to be some sort of sneaking mastermind who can defeat locked doors, who has like sabotage and evasion. What kind of weirdo has lots of evasion and sabotage?
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I, for my last fancy tool, I'm gonna have it be either a metal file or a lockpick, if that's or a
Lockpicking set.
multi-tool.
Done. You have a lockpicking set. It's like a tiny nail file.
All right. Yeah.
In other words, fine work tools. You have a lockpicking set.
All
If
right.
you're Harry Houdini, you keep them under your skin and your Achilles tendon.
Mm,
I just want to put that idea in your head.
oh boy. Yeah, all right. So,
You probably keep them in your hat or your wristband or your fancy wrist cuffs or something. Normally, it's tricky to try and conceal stuff on your person, but you've got sleight of hand.
yeah,
So
right.
you wander off to the administration building to pretend like you belong there. But in order to get to the morgue, you're going to have to somehow sneak past people. So this is another time where I suggest that we're going to do another rule in the game, basically called progress, which is where you have to score a certain number of successes. I don't have to tell you how many successes you need in advance, but you'll need a fair number of them. So what do you roll for this? Well, you want to be sneaky, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that would be that you roll your speed and evasion, but you also have to defeat several. You also have to get through at least one locked door because it's a prison. They lock doors, if they pass through them, especially the basement door. So that would be a roll of speed and evasion to avoid being detected, and mind and craft, because craft is a skill of working with tangible objects, to defeat locks. Now, you have the gift of sabotage. Sabotage gives you a bonus D12 when making craft rolls to defeat locks.
All right.
Do you have the gift of stealth because you're a cat?
I'm not seeing stealth here. I
Okay, you
have
just have you have
acrobatics.
acrobatics. That would help you if you were, say, some kind of burglar who specializes in second or third story work. Alas, we're going in the
Right.
basement today,
Right.
so that won't help you. So you would go ahead and roll speed, evasion, mindcraft, and the sabotage is worth a bonus d12.
Okay. So,
Do you have anything else that would? Oh, and you brought the correct tools today. I will give you a D8 tool assist bonus because you have lockpicks. Don't get caught with these.
okay.
And I would give you a bonus if you had a sneaky outfit, but you do not. You have a fancy outfit.
Eh, yeah, yeah, I don't have
But
time to get changed.
it
I
changed.
think.
But you're not. But I think you're a gentleman thief. You're not the kind of person who gets changed. You're the kind of person who wanders around looking like this all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Uh,
I may be a gentleman thief, but I know when disguise is in order.
there we go. Well, but also remember, if you get caught, you could always like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to be in here.
All right. So
Whereas
speed
if
will
if,
be
if Ferg gets caught, they're going to beat the crap out of him because he's dressed like a biker.
okay.
Meanwhile, while you're getting all that dice together, so I've shown pictures here of what the darn. I've shown some pictures here of what the prison looks like. So after Johnny says it's a good thing you came here after dinner, everybody's in your cells.
Rafferty looks like he just froze.
Uh, okay. Yeah, he froze.
They just went off
Hey, I'm
running.
back.
Welcome back.
Not my first rodeo. Sorry about that. Okay,
so
sorry. So before I crashed, I was asking, I don't know how much of that got through. What, did I mention that it was after dinner?
yeah, all the prisoners were in the cells, and then you kind of cut off from there.
Okay, yep. Horrible crash. Back now. So, yeah, so they have you, they are nice enough to lend you, after seeing Ferd's struggles, they're nice enough to lend you a cart. So you can put the box of Bibles on that, so Ferd doesn't have to sit here sweating with his tiny body.
The father also has D4 body, so he had been struggling with them earlier.
Yeah, the guards aren't too impressed by you guys. Wheezing city folk, not doing honest work like we do. Ugh. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
by the
sure I know it's your job, but you don't know these people like I know these people, Father. There's not an ounce of goodness within them, he says, staring at you with his German Shepherd eyes.
Real quick, one question. Do I get a D8, another D8 for having the right tools for this?
That's what that D8 was for, the right tools. It's just it's a tool bonus D8. You know, that doesn't stack.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, wait. Okay, so far I got my my speed plus my evasion and plus my mind plus my craft plus the D12 from the sabotage. So do
I
I
mean,
get
there's
another D?
D12 and a D8 from the tools. I typed all this in the chat,
Okay, just making sure.
but I know it's a new game. So once again, you can see how all this stuff starts to stack on top of itself in the game. And once again, this is how Urban Jungle works. That's how it works. You just get better at stuff. Sometimes people get a little intimidated when I start saying, you need all of this to do a task. And people go, ah! But then you look at your sheet, go, oh, wait, I can do all of this. I actually am capable of it. Okay, so back to Bo and Ferd. I think you guys wanted to be a distraction of some kind. Well, look at the prison that you're in, and you have a cart where you pass around Bibles to the cells, where the hardened inmates stare at you, envious of your freedom, cowed by their humility, rage at the forces that put them here. What is your plan? Do you just want to pass around the Bibles, or you want to do something else?
Pass out the Bibles, and at least for the father, he's going to try to console and comfort the prisoners, and I would assume that's possibly either a negotiation or questioning to try to get them to open up and be a little bit less hostile towards us, and maybe put the guards at ease because this isn't their normal mind or main.
So
How do you say that?
yeah, no, you're reaching out to the prisoners, so that would definitely, to see what's wrong with them is indeed questioning, and of course you have to marshal up your faith, and everyone knows that faith is not the same thing as reason, so that would be a lot of will. So that would be will and questioning. If you have anything else that helps you, marshaling lost souls.
I have diplomacy and leadership.
Diplomacy would definitely work. Diplomacy is a bonus D12 to any well, usually a negotiation, but any interaction that takes place for more than 5 minutes, which we give to all the priests. Yeah, well, the guard's gonna roll his eyes and say, we don't, we can't take 5 minutes with each one of these prisoners. There's like 100 of them in here.
God did not create the world in one day, my son.
Priests always doing these things. You got a Bible verse for everything, don't you?
I do indeed.
Wow. Well, Father Bo may be a crooked priest, but he does make other criminals feel better. Yeah, they'll have to be like the the giant ravening bear who will have to say, "Oh, is there any way that I can see my wife so I can kill her all over again?"
I'm sure you'll see her in heaven, my son. And
Really?
then what you do is between you, her, and God.
I was pretty sure I wasn't going to heaven, Father.
Well, if you like, you can have them call me before your time comes, and
You can
I'll
do
give you
that?
last rites.
Thank you.
Everybody
Wow.
deserves a
You,
chance to see God.
you've given me so much to think about. Um, why?
No,
Oh,
tell them some chapters to read out of the Bible. So, like
Psalm 17.
Psalm 17, Exodus, because of the freedom of the slaves, and then of
Yeah.
course the Gospels.
Yeah, and to add on there, once again, Shifter, if you've chosen the rough outfit, I mean, you're dressed like heavy leather. You look like a leather biker. If that's why I asked you if you wanted the fancy outfit or the rough outfit.
Oh yes, I'm wearing the rough outfit.
Right. So yeah, so you are a taxi driver, but you're dressed like, rebel without a cause.
Right.
But it's okay. So Father, you're slowly going along. This isn't much of a distraction because you're slowly and methodically plodding along. While the Padre is, while the Father is talking to people and helping them. Ferd, is there anything you want to do?
I'm just rolling the cart. I really got nothing to add. I kind of got roped into it, so like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Okay, so
you
you're
know?
biding your time. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, now keep this going here. We're gonna flash. We'll zoom the camera all the way to Arsene. Arsene, you sneak into the administration building. It was originally designed to be a prison, so they moved to the Panopticon. So there's hallways with little tiny cells. Some of the walls were moved and bashed out. There is also a court here, so they can do parole hearings, but no one's in there right now because they're not doing that right now. And you see various policemen or prison guards, not technically policemen, and people shuffling around. You are highly skilled at ducking behind those giant wooden columns, and also staring at walls in a way that makes you look low profile. And you manage to sneak past people to get to the stairwell. There's one thing I forgot to mention that I'm just going to give you a free bonus success because you have a key ring.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Remember, you stole those from Johnny?
Yeah, I was gonna mention those actually.
I forgot all about that. I'll just throw another success on the pile. So it would normally take 5 successes to get past all of these people and downstairs, during which they get rolls to detect you. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then 5. So yeah, you manage to examine the lock, walk around, feel the lock with your fingers, and go, oh yeah, it's a standard, and then one hand in your pocket, I guess, fingering the key. You just pop it in there without making the slightest bit of noise, and eventually get into the stairwell into the basement, where I think you would spend a moment adjusting your eyes to the darkness.
Yeah, yeah.
Alas, you have not brought with you a flashlight, so you can either turn on the lights or try moving around in the dark.
Do cats get special sort of night vision at all, or dark vision?
That's what's your cat trait?
Uh, my cat trait is D6.
D6. You're an average quality cat. You will be as graceful as my house cat.
Yeah, not sure if that's a compliment or not, but okay.
My cat hasn't been featured in any internet videos, so you're fine. So, right. So you'll wander around the darkness. You also, you will eventually need some light because you're going to have to see the files. But yes, you'll eventually sneak around and find what you think is the morgue. That door is locked, and Johnny doesn't have the key for it, but that doesn't bother you because you brought lockpicking tools. Once again, this whole 5 successes is enough to get past all of these.
All right, so
As you get in there, you peer around the darkness. I will need a roll of mind and observation. And I
Alright.
believe cat adds to observation, so make sure you roll high.
Alright, so that's alright, so do I add my species roll, or do I just get what I
Just roll your
get?
mind and observation dice. I think cat is one of the dice that's included with his observation, isn't it? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying that's how your cat helps you. You might have had a species that didn't get observed.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So
cats not only have good night vision, they also have hearing. We kind of abstracted it in the game.
so six
Some people
plus
like the game to be
eight.
more furry than others.
Oop, hold on.
Oh, let's enter hooks. I can't wait. It's eerily quiet down. Well, I would say it's quiet down here, but you can hear people clomping around upstairs because people are walking around. So there's that weird thing of where there's that kind of hollow ambient tone of like foreboding silence in all of these rooms because no one's down here, but also the kind of like weird clip clop noises from upstairs.
Right. I only got
One
one
success. You take a couple minutes adjusting your eyes to the night vision darkness, and then start clambering around the files. It's 1920s, so you definitely have a cigarette lighter. So when you get close enough, to the files, you can then flick open the lighter to read the letters on them.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. But
Okay.
so you were given the name Frankie Labrazio. So you go ahead and eventually find the J through L files and open those up and start combing through those, and you find a snafu. There's no Frankie Labrazio here. There's not even anyone named Labrazio in these files.
Eh, Is there a desk around the room in this?
There is. There's one of those annoying, really narrow writing desks with a tiny little lamp on it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can I go over there and turn on the lamp to get a little bit more light so I can find and see if I could find the file around the desk area?
Okay, well, the file's not on the desk. You're starting to wonder if he was filed under a different name than Labrazio.
Hmm. Can I write, or sorry, can I use uh mind or some other trait to uh
You
eh,
could dip into your knowledge of organized crime. Maybe
try and
uh
find some
yeah,
pseudonym
see,
or
there's an unfortunate fact that so you may have heard have you ever heard of something called a godfather?
yes.
So there's a problem where sometimes when someone swears to be the godfather in an organized crime family, where if your family dies, they resolve to adopt you. Even though they adopt you as part of the mafia and not as part of the legality law. So it's possible that Frankie Labrazio was adopted by the Labrazio family, but never officially took their name, and thus he would be listed in the prison system under his legal name, not his adopted name.
So I will have to look under the the name Frankie, the first name, not the last name.
So you are probably going to have to start going through all of the files. The skills of dealing with filing is academics, which I believe is a skill you do not have.
I do not have academics now.
And there's
No.
actually like skills in the game for being a fast filing person. So why don't you roll your speed observation, which you do have, and academics, which you don't.
Okay, so E2 6 plus
So
eight.
you go, damn it, he's not listed as Labrazio. This is also as a side warning from the game master. This is why I was asking prep you want to do before this. No one asked to do any deep dives into asking who Labrazio was or why he was there. So good, you got in the prison faster. I like that. I like your hustle there. But also weird. None of you have streetwise. All of you are just criminals, but you're not organized criminals, huh?
Hmm.
Okay. Wow.
3 successes.
Well, with 3 successes, I've worked as a clerk for many years, so I know some of the shortcuts. So you start going through the files, but as you're going through them and going through all the layers, like, would have to be the last one. Let's go through the more recent ones first. Obviously, he's only been here for a short time, so ignore the ones that are covered in dust. and you start going through those files. When you hear a noise that doesn't sound like the pitter patter of feet above you, it sounds all too familiar. It sounds like metal hitting brick. And then you hear the sound of a breaking wall. Someone has broken one of the basement walls and is entering into the morgue through a hole they made in the wall that they've dug into the prison. Do you hide? Do you confront them? Do you do something else?
I turn off the lights and try to hide as best as I can.
Quickly, make a roll of speed and evasion.
Sorry, what?
Make a roll of speed and evasion. The skills of hiding quickly.
Okay, so D6.
I will click on things too. What could be happening? Who knows?
Three successes.
What, you flip off the light and I guess cling to the ceiling like a ninja, because three, like I said, 2 successes is skilled, 3 successes is lightning fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I'll even, because you have 3 successes, I'll let you look from your vantage point. Roading with your mind and observation, which is enough to give you 1 success in the darkness. You will see someone carrying a lantern. After your eyes adjust to the sudden brightness, it's the wall broke, and you'll see someone with a pickaxe. They've moved the pickaxe to one hand. Let's see. This is a weasel. This weasel comes through a hole in the wall. There is a man-sized tunnel dug here into the prison underground. And that person picks up their little lantern. They've got one of those, gas lanterns that can stand. Shines it around the room, missing you completely. And they mutter something that sounds like, yeah, all right, it's clear. They come inside and are followed by a second figure. This one is a skunk. This skunk is bent double because he's carrying a large can. You don't need to make an observation roll because as he comes in, you can smell the turpentine smell. Now, you're a burglar who has craft and sabotage. So I can have you road again, and you can see that the way this the skunk with his big keg of turpentine and a couple rags, you know enough about arson to see an arson job. When these two come in through the hole and start spreading around the materials, a third person comes in behind them. Why am I laughing? This is another weasel. They just kind of look around and like, what do we do? They look at the skunk guy saying, what are we supposed to do? It's like, just stand back, don't hurt yourselves. The third guy has the first 2 weasel people. One of them holds a lantern, and the other weasel has a shotgun. I know all 3 of them have shotguns in the picture, but that guy pulls out his shotgun. Just watch to see if anyone comes, and be careful. If you fire that shotgun too close to all this, you'll set all this stuff off early. So, armed with this knowledge, Arsene, seeing these guys about to set fire to the room before you found the file, what do you do?
Well, if I remember correctly, he's didn't the guy who hired us say something about he said
He would need proof of its destruction. But you got the impression that he said, but you remember his words were, if you bring the file back, I'll pay you $500,000, which suddenly makes some wheels click in your head. Now, I know the idea that criminals might not, I know it's shocking that a criminal might have some, loopholes or sophistry in their discussion here, but you get the impression that he might not pay you all of the money if the file doesn't come back. Because you can't, like, what if he stiffs you? If you don't have the file, you don't have any leverage. So that's up to you. You could just leave and say, oh, these guys are going to burn the place down. We're fine. What would you do, Mr. After all, don't let a small loss keep you away from the big victory now, right?
Okay,
Uh,
so they're spreading the turpentine around, right?
They look a little, some of them's on lookout. They look a little distracted. You might be able to be sneaky enough and defeat them. You're full of speed and evasion. You might be able to look in the last place that you haven't looked yet. Or you could try to defeat them physically, or do a distraction, or go get help or something.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so what I want to do is to I jump off the jump from the ceiling and onto the writing desk, and I take out my lighter and say, "Evening, gents," as I flick it on to reveal my face.
You want to do a dramatic reveal. A dramatic reveal would be a roll of speed and athletics. I'm going to go ahead and put all this in the chat. I'll give you a bonus D12 because you have acrobatics. And then it would also use your will and presence because you're trying to impress us with how awesome you are. And presence is the skill of being awesome.
Okay, so that's 3d6.
Right, so what you lack in presence, you make up for in presentation.
Right, okay. So R. Okay.
I think are there shortcut buttons for rolling dice? I think if you push the little die here, it makes the little dice show up. There we go. Okay. Works for me.
Sorry, I'm just trying to be like
I understand we're on camera, everyone's watching you making mistakes. I've already made 2 mistakes on camera.
Okay, let's see.
Normally when like me and Arcloid are streaming like this, we never make mistakes. Isn't that right, Arcloid?
Never.
Yeah. But you can see one of the things I like about Urban Jungle, and I hope other people like too, is the idea that you could try anything, and like even if you're missing stuff, you can compensate. Like I like how Zeppelin here is describing, like, I'm gonna do a dramatic reveal. Oh, I'm sorry, and you also get a bonus D8 to this because you have a fancy outfit, which makes people pay attention to you.
Okay, so 2d8. Okay.
Let's see, you got a bow tie. You need a scarf. I would have a scarf as a bow tie, but that's just me. All right, so that is every 4 or better. So that's 1, 2. I don't know why some of these are green. I guess because they're maximums. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Okay, so yes, so you'll suddenly reveal yourself. That will stun all 3 of them. Well, they go ah, and stun them in the good way, where they won't just shoot you, because the guy with the shotgun is slack-jawed. As they suddenly, like, I could have sworn there was nobody there a minute ago.
Yeah. I'd be careful with that. There, my friend. You don't want to set this whole place ablaze. I say as I put the lighter in front of my face to try and give the that whole flashlight under the face look.
Yep. Just really close. Your cat eyes glittering in the darkness. There will be a pause. As they're just shocked. It's like, wait, what? This is like a theater. It's like a stage magician or something. But let's see. With 4 successes, the skunk guy is gonna back up, hit the files. A drawer that was already loosened is going to spring forth and surprise the crap out of the skunk, and he's going to spill turpentine all over the place. The The weasel with the lantern is going to freak out as the puddle of turpentine goes towards him. And the third guy with the shotgun, noticing that everything is turning into havoc, readies his shot. I don't know what to do. I have a gun. I'll shoot. And readies his shotgun. You may act first. What do you do as you see this mess of turpentine and shotgun spread before you?
Okay,
Second.
I kick the desk lamp that's at my feet toward the one with the gun and try to knock his aim off.
Okay, make a roll of body, speed, and athletics. You don't get the acrobatics bonus to this because that's not for kicking. You get the football bonus.
6, 4, okay. 6.
Now, this is not going to be 4s or better. This is going to be a contest where I'm going to roll and you're going to roll. I have rolled my highest die is a 4. So in order to hit me with the lamp when you kick it and I try to dodge out of the way, you're going to have to beat a 4. You're going to have to roll 5s or better to hit me.
Okay.
Because this is a duel between you and me. Normally it's 4s or better when you're just making normal rolls, but when I oppose you actively with this, I don't want to get hit in the face. Then we roll off and the winner wins over the loser. Wow. Well, you have 2 successes. 1 success would be enough to hit me with a lamp to distract me. 2 successes is enough to knock me on my butt. The shotgun does not go off. All right, so you kick that. I'm sorry, you have a question?
Does he drop it or anything?
2 successes. Or I'll give you the choice. You can knock him down or disarm him. Which do you want?
I think I'll try and disarm him.
Right. So he readies the shotgun. You kick the lamp. The bolt breaks. And the lamp hits the and he fidgets, says, my face is full of glass. Who does that? And he'll drop the shotgun as he clutches at his face. The one guy who has the lantern screams and does not drop the lantern. The guy who's covered in turpentine says, "No, don't! I gotta get out of here! I'm covered in turpentine! Don't get those flames anywhere near me!" Quick back to you, Arsene. You're still standing on the desk. You've disarmed the shotgun guy. You have 2 other guys freaking out. There's an escape tunnel.
I quickly leap off the writer's desk and go for the shotgun to make sure that they don't use it against me, and I unload it I'm assuming it's a double bit.
I'm going to stop you right there. That's 3 steps, and we normally let people only do 2 steps a turn. So I'm going to let you move to where the shotgun is and pick it up.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so you move and you have a shotgun. Okay, so you move to get the shotgun. The guy who had his face full of glass recovers, and he's an angry weasel, and he growls, and he lunges at you with teeth and claw. You have a shotgun. When someone attacks you like this, you have 2 options in the game. You could dodge, which would be a roll of your speed and evasion, and try to beat my roll so I don't hit you. Or you could counterattack, which would be to shoot me with the shotgun, which would be a roll of speed and shooting using your shooting skills. I'm assuming that your evasion is way better than your shooting, right?
Yeah, I was going to dodge anyway.
Right, so you'll dodge.
Okay.
Roughly, picking something up off the floor is a stunt, so all you can do is dodge.
Yeah, I know picking something off the floor is a stunt, which would leave him dazed. So he's going to dodge. Yeah, I know about that. Thanks for letting me know about that. That's also picking something off the floor is a little tricky. I could have made him roll acrobatics stuff. Just go ahead and roll your dodge. I would normally get a bonus to hit you, but I don't actually have a tactics bonus to claim. So
Okay,
for
so
make Arcloid happy. So go ahead and roll your speed and evasion dice. This is dodge dice, which has a special blank on the character sheet because you roll speed and evasion a lot.
okay, so yeah.
The bad guy has rolled a 4, which means you need to roll a 5 or better to successfully dodge him.
Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Roll. 1, 4, 2, 6.
Yeah, and you'll probably want to write down your speed and evasion and like the dodge blank because you'll be rolling this a lot.
Right. Oop. Oop, close one. Oop. Hold on. This one. Okay.
Okay, so your highest is a 6 and my highest is a 4. You've evaded me. You have multiple successes, but that doesn't do anything on a dodge. If you had weapons or something crazy, that would be cool. But no. So he lunges at you and you die. Okay. The other guy who's covered in turpentine is clawing himself. The guy who dropped the lantern says, "Oh, right," and takes a moment to snuff the lantern so he doesn't light his friend on fire. And the room is dark again. Let's go ahead and quickly return to Arsene. You have the shotgun. Did you want to keep unloading it? Did you want to move somewhere? You've got a snarling guy who lunged at you and missed. What do you want to do?
Okay, so since the lights are out, I want to quietly unload the shotguns so that the bullets are out, and so it doesn't have any bullets in it. But then I relight my pocket lighter to bring the lights back on, and then
Okay.
aim it at the group of them, so that it looks like I'm aiming a loaded gun at them.
Okay, so in the darkness, you want to go ahead and unload the shotgun.
Right.
You can do sleight of hand tricks when you have a distraction. The room is dark. That is a distraction. I'd like you to roll your speed, mind, and deceit. You need at least 1 4 or better.
Okay. Yeah.
And once again, you have the gift of sleight of hand, which lets you do this because you want to take the shotgun shells out without anyone noticing. Normally, I'd let you just unload the gun, no problem, but you want to make sure no one hears that.
6 plus 1, 8.
Perfect.
All right.
2 successes. You could even pocket the shells if you want to.
I will.
All right. So you crack the shotgun open, pull the shells out, flip it back up, pocket those, pull out the lighter, flick on the lights, and threaten everybody in the room with the shotgun. All in one smooth motion that no one sees this, like you're some kind of dramatic thief. You are now attempting to get everyone in the room to surrender to you. This is going to be a roll first of body, because of how physically intimidating you are, your will, which is how personally intimidating you are, your presence, because that's the skill of trying to impress people. And I'm going to give you a bonus D8 because you are owning us. That is a situational bonus of you have just made us all look stupid.
All right, hold
So
on.
say something dramatic when you ask all of us to surrender.
Eh, eh, okay. Eh, I'm gonna assume that by your rough attire and your uh, arson gear that you three are here to try and burn the place down so that so that my friends and I can't collect on can't find the file that we're looking for. Am I correct in my assumption?
All right. Ah! Since the all right, the skunk guy is gonna go. Yeah, who are you? You're not some kind of policeman or something like that. Or are you some kind of devil or something? I'm gonna go ahead and move out of combat time and into negotiation time so we can do it back and forth. So we're not gonna do turn by turn anymore. But that was an example of how combat works.
All right.
Okay, but yeah, like, were you some kind of magic or something? It's the devil. He's come to punish me for my wicked ways. So I repent. I repent.
I hold up lighter, my lighter to to my face and say, "Oh, I'm far worse than any devil, devil buddy boy."
The guy who had the lantern turns and runs back down the passageway that he came in.
I aim the shotgun at him before he can. I'm gonna attempt to.
He keeps running, and unfortunately, you can't actually take the shot because you're unloaded. The guy who's next to you, who came at you before, snarls, will like make a motion to come at you, and you just have to point the shotgun at him, and he'll back off.
I just casually point it at his face and say, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." One of me.
Him. He's wearing fancy clothes, and he talks fancy too. He's no devil. He's made of flesh and bone like all the rest. Put that gun down, and I'll show you what he's made of. No gunplay, says the skunk. I'm covered in turpentine.
And I say, and I'm the one holding the lighter here, my friend. I don't think you want to play those odds.
Do what he says, Bob. Do what he says. Bob snarls.
Now, if I'm assuming correctly, you're here to either destroy any and all evidence against what was the name of the family again? Sorry.
Yeah, about your street gang, says the skunk. We're here to destroy the entire system. Smash the system. This provisional government, we didn't, doesn't deserve our loyalty.
So you're one of those types, then. I say, I'm assuming these guys are rebels.
That sounds a lot like it from if they're here to destroy the entire prison system. We'll start by freeing our brothers, and then we can rise up and destroy the corrupt government.
Well, look, I don't want any trouble here. I'm just trying to get a file for I'm just trying to do a job, and like you all are.
Don't let him get the files. He works for the government. I can see it.
What? Yeah, I'm a cat in a fancy suit that moves in. That moves in like an acrobat. Do I really look like a government official?
You don't look like one of us. You talk fancy. Yeah. So Bob fumes like a weasel. He starts to do the weasel dance. You know, that kind of weird motion. It's like, no, I can take. And the skunk guy says, no, if he shoots, he can start a spark. I'll remember your sacrifice for the glorious revolution. That's Bob. Yeah, Bob doesn't look like he's buying anymore. So Arsene,
yeah.
Do you want to make a play for the file? Do you want to try and deal with Bob? Do you want to run away? Something else.
I was going to quickly. I was gonna quickly do an observation check to see if if the file made itself apparent to any of us.
Go ahead and make a roll of speed and observation because you're in a hurry.
Right.
And I will give you a bonus D8 because you bought a distraction.
All right.
Don't worry, guys in the prison. We'll get back to you in a sec.
Well, I
That is 2 successes. You think that if you dropped the shotgun, there's only one file that you haven't, there's only one drawer you haven't looked in yet. You think if you drop the shotgun, you could pull the drawer out and take that with you and leave. You could try to search through it while trying to hold these guys at bay with the shotgun, which isn't going to work because you need a lighter, a shotgun, and you really can't fire the shotgun with one hand, and you have to go through the files. Bob the Weasel here looks like he wants your jugular.
Okay. Yeah. Do you mind cutting back to the prison for a sec? Something came up in my house, so I'll need to attend to that real quick. Sorry.
Okay. We'll go ahead and sunset here. You guys off in the prison proper, everything is going so swimmingly in the downstairs in the morgue that yeah, you're just moving through the prisoners, asking them questions, listening to their sob stories. Some of them are here because they were desperate because they had to steal bread. Others are completely innocent. You gotta believe me, Father. It's slow work. But other than that, unless you want to do something crazy,
That's what I was thinking.
Hmm?
Before all that ruckus started downstairs, it had come to my mind that Father Beauregard would be asking one of the tougher, more rowdy-looking prisoners to start a riot. Like once I go 3 cell blocks this way, start something.
Well, all right, but that's going to be a negotiation. Why should I start a riot? What's in it for me?
He'll hand him a pocket knife under the Bible he gives him.
Well, that makes the riot easier, but you know, what's in it for me? Why would I want to start a riot? Plus, also, I'm in my cell. You want me to stab my cellmate?
Do you like him? Well,
I mean, help me out here. Are you gonna find somebody who already has a grudge against their cellmate and convince them to stab him, or?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, you're evil, and this is when you correct me and say not evil, crooked. All right. In which case, I will need you to make a roll of will and negotiation. The skill of persuading people to do things in the game is negotiation. That's why I always say, "What's in it for me?" Unlike some other RPGs which have a presence skill, or a persuasion skill, where you just point at people and make them do things, we called it negotiation because nobody does something for nothing. Now, what you're looking for is you're looking for somebody who already has a grudge, and you just want to push them over the edge. That's going to be something only a skilled negotiator could do. So I'm going to need 2 successes.
And I don't think I'm talking to him long enough to use diplomacy. This would be more of a fast kind of thing.
You can use diplomacy on this. Get your extra D12. You're taking your time. Wow, so that's 3 successes. So you kind of whisper to the guys, like, wait until I'm there and then take your action. And so you'll slip me your switchblade. All right, so you slip it to this angry-looking rhino guy. And it's like, wow, God told me to stab my roommate. Finally! I've been praying all this time. I'd like to stop a moment and ask, why am I laughing at this? Are you guys broadcasting this?
I think we are.
Am I a horrible person?
Hey, I thought of it. You helped, but I thought of it.
You're not the kind of person to ask I'm a horrible person. Well, of course, yeah. As soon as, like, you know, a couple cells down, normally you think, like, I could wait until lights out for this, but no, he told me to do it now, and I guess he's the father, and when am I going to have my chance? So, yeah. So, naturally, in the center tower here, they, you know, say, hey, there's something, you know, they start blowing the whistle. There's something going on in cell block D. In order to start a prison riot, you'd have to somehow get the cells open, though, if you wanted to do that. What other ability do you have to get the cells open to get everybody outside to start the riot?
I personally have none.
Well, you also don't forget you're not alone. You have Ferd with you.
True. Ferdinand? I'm guessing the cells are opened by keys and not like by switches like they are now.
They are opened by keys because it's the 1920s. They're not electronically locked. Are you with us, Shifter?
I am, yes.
Okay, good. I was worried you might be muted. Sorry, it's been a while.
Oh, no, it's okay.
So you could try to pick one of the locks to open the cells. That is, of course, Minecraft and Sabotage.
And at this point, if now there's commotion starting, the father will body block the view of Ferdinand from the watchtower in the middle there and just panic,
Oh.
acting like he's panicking.
I don't know if Ferd is skilled at picking locks. Do you actually have any craft skill, Ferd?
I do not know. I'm just a driver.
Yeah, so he would need 2 successes to pick the lock, and he's only rolling 1 die. The only way he could pull this off would be to throw his personality in.
I am determined, so yes.
Do you want to try and pick the lock of another cell while the first one is being detained and distracting people?
I could try to, yes. I do the best I can.
All right, well, go ahead and roll your mind die. First, roll your mind die.
Okay. Running it now.
Yeah. Exciting die rolling.
Come on, come on.
Did you type it in and we're waiting on roll 20 to catch up?
Yes.
Yeah, roll 20. I don't know what it is. I start running a game, roll 20 gets really slow. There we go. That's not a success. There's no point in tapping. I mean, I'm your friend here, so there's no point in tapping your personality to try and get another success because it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
So, yeah, you want to turn this into a full blown riot, and you guys are trying. But the guards will come by and say, "He stabbed his roommate," and like 2 of them are going to run in there. Like one of them unlocks the cell, and the other one runs in there with the club. Did you want to interfere in this fight, or did you
Yes.
want to let it play out? How are you going to
When this
interfere, Father?
happens, oh, sorry. Are you going to
He's
do something?
just going to
Father, or-
physically interpose himself. He's panicking and out of his mind. So, I don't know what I'm doing, but
Okay,
he's just getting in everybody's way.
make a roll of body and deceit. Body because you want to physically get in people's way. What did you want to do, Ferd?
Oh, well, I was going to hit someone upside the head with the Bible, but once you do that, I'm going to wait a minute.
I'm going to use my personality of.
You get to reroll
Let's-
1/1 because you're dealing with authority figures.
All right, I think I can justify my personality of lustful by saying that, I'm helping other people express their emotions.
I'm not here to judge what you think of people in prison. So don't forget you get to reroll 1/1 because your specialty in deceit is with authority figures.
True. Thank you. That's a D8 too. I'll roll that.
Okay. And Ferd was going to throw a Bible, but then thinks better of it. Ferd is
Yes.
armed with a Bible. All right. Did you throw your personality in there yet, or are you just going to go with that 6?
I'll throw the personality in.
Okay. 2 successes is enough to distract both of the guards to where the rhino says, I don't know why this is happening, but finally I'm going to get out of here. He's going to, I only get 1 chance at this, and he's going to come forward and push one of the guards over the railing, who's going to fall 2 stories down.
Yikes.
Making a sickening noise when he hits the ground. That's going to get them blowing more horns. Sorry, I have to pause and compose myself because I don't know what I'm doing here. So, are you going to try and take the keys off of the guard so you can try and open other cells, or are you going to tear the keys off of them or something like that?
I will be, yes.
Or are you just going to... Oh, Ferd's going to try. Okay, Ferd,
Oh, yeah.
You wrestle with the guard. I need a roll of body and fighting.
Oh, I thought you meant off the body. I'm sorry. That fell.
Oh, do you want to search the body? If you want to get to the body, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to climb down where it fell. That's gonna
Mhm.
be a roll of body, speed, and athletic.
I could do that, yes.
Yeah, that I think is probably more your speed.
A little bit, yes.
Meanwhile, with Beauregard getting tangled up with the guard and being a physical D4 barrier, I
Get out of my
assume
way!
isn't pickpocketing mind, speed, and deceit?
You can't pickpocket at all unless you have sleight of hand.
Shoot, you're right. So I can't do
Okay. Fernando, you slowly climb down to where the body is. With only one success, you can only climb down. You can't get to the body a single round.
Would contortionist help me? Because I'm a ferret.
It is kind of cool with all the bars and that kind of stuff. Roll a bonus D12.
Okay. I'm kind of like parkouring it.
Well, you're more like squirming through the bars.
Yeah.
Sure. You get to the body and get the keys off of it. So you that's gonna take another action keys off of the body.
Sure.
All right. Well, the one active guard's gonna I don't know what's come over you, father, but yeah, I'm full of adrenaline. I'm gonna swing this club at your face. What skills do you have useful? You're gonna dodge me?
I do have some evasion. So speed.
All right. Well, you better dodge me. And I'm gonna aim before I do this too.
And,
Wow. So, what's your favorite use of evasion? Is it
I have
dodging,
none yet.
fighting? You could choose versus fighting, which means it's not versus shooting.
I'll take versus fighting.
All right. Go ahead and re-roll one of those ones.
A little better, but not at all.
All right. Well, I'm clubbing you for 2 successes instead of 3. So that's going to be a 3-point hit. Now, I'm introducing, I don't know if Arsene's not back, but someone will watch the video. So I have hit you with an attack. My truncheon has a damage bonus of 1. So I start with 1 point of damage, and I've scored 2 dice higher than you. The 6 and the 5 are higher than your 2. Only higher dice count. So 6 and 5, that's 2 extra points of damage for a whopping 3. Now, you must reduce this damage to 0 or go down. So first, you get to roll your free soak. Everyone gets body dice as free soak. So roll that body die. That did not come up 4 or better, so we're still here. Now you may roll all of your endurance dice. Endurance is a skill. You have endurance?
I do not, so I'm skipping that sip.
So now you go ahead and tap your soaks. Everybody has started the game with special soaks. As a crooked character, I think you started with distress soak. Is that correct?
Sneaky soak.
Oh, sneaky soak, which I believe you can tap to negate 2 points of damage.
Yes.
All right, that would take us down to 1, and sneaky soak recharges the next time you hide. We still have 1 point of damage. Everyone in the game gets panic soak, which they can tap to negate 2 points of damage. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
All right, so you tap that. So, and panic soak makes you panic. You can no longer fight or block people because you're too scared. Good news, you have the damage down to 0. You're not down. But you, I guess, let out a big yelp.
Saints preserve us.
And you will be useless to cower in the corner.
Yes.
Okay. So, the guy who's got a knife just running down the gangway here, trying to get his escape. Meanwhile, Ferd, you've got a ring of keys. Are you gonna try and start unlocking cells?
Yes, I will.
All right, make a roll of, I guess, speed, craft, and observation to try and start unlocking cells.
Okay,
Because you gotta figure out which key opens which cell.
exactly.
Meanwhile, the guard is going to shove Bo out of his way. Actually, Bo, on your turn, are you going to try and hide since you're panicked?
Oh,
That's you, Arcloid.
yes.
Yeah. All right. To hide is a roll of speed and evasion. You get a bonus D12 if you have the stealth.
Just checking that now. I don't have stealth.
So
But-
speed and evasion.
All right.
Unfortunately, you need at least 2 successes. Did I mention this is a panopticon? All right, so you run in the room and hide under the bed and the stabbed corpse that's already in there. And cower. Because you successfully cowered and hid, you recharge Sneaky Soak, because that recharges anytime you successfully pass a hide test. And you manage to get out of the line of fire of hostiles. So your Panic Soak recharges. But you lose your entire turn doing all this crap. Okay, Ferd manages to get one cell unlocked but not open. So good job. The guard in the tower is going to go, what the hell? And he's going to take his rifle and point it at Ferd. Now, Ferd, you don't have any guns or anything, so you can't counterattack. You have no weapons or anything. So you're
I have
only
a shotgun, but I can't bring it with me, right? 'Cause I got the big coat. Would I be able to take that with me? Did they frisk me? Because I don't remember them
well,
frisking me.
what you can do is dodge because you don't have any weapons out. You
Okay.
can roll speed and evasion.
Alright.
And you are at range. So when the guard shoots at you, you also get to roll another bonus. Let's see, 3, 10. You get to roll another bonus D8 due to range.
Okay. Can I use contortionist too? Because wiggle wobbling out the way, or no?
Well, with contortionist, if you tie on a dodge roll, you win on ties. Normally on dodges, you don't win on ties unless you have cover of some kind, and you don't have any cover because if you look at the Panopticon, there's no way you'd have cover.
Right.
But you're a contortionist. All you gotta do is roll like a 3 or better because I've only rolled the sharpshooter rolls a 3, 3, and a 1. Yeah, you dodge.
Oh, okay.
Damn it! Father Bo, you recover from diving behind everything. You recover the dazed. What do you want to do? Do you want to come back out? Do you want to shout for help? Do you want to get a weapon out? What do you want to do?
Let's see here. He's going to call for help like he doesn't know what's going on and why they're attacking him.
Okay, you call for help. I'm not going to have you roll for that. Ferd, do you want to continue unlocking cells?
Oh yes, I would love to. I'll open this
I believe if
door.
you push, the up arrow twice, it'll take you 2 rolls back, so you can go ahead and roll. Okay. More successes is more cells. After you Ferd rolls, the alarm finally goes off. That's another cell unlocked. Jeez. That's another cell unlocked. The alarm goes off. Now, unfortunately, they can't automatically force all the cells to shut because this is not an electronic place. The guy in the tower is going to take another shot at Fernando. Fernando, it's the same dodge roll you had last time. Your speed, evasion, and a bonus D8. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Should I even roll?
There's an optional rule in the game called botching. Normally, if you roll all ones,
right.
I don't normally punish people for it. But oh my god, this is the worst. You guys all saw that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blam. Yeah, I think at this moment the guard fumble is going to try and shoot at you. Moves too fast, hits the I want to say window sill, but I guess the crossbar, hits that, bangs his hand, and drops his rifle. And he goes, "Oh my god, I'm so fired."
How far is the gun away from me?
If you see from the map here, you're like right here at the edges of the cells, like opening these doors, and the gun would roll off of this tower and fall to here. So you could try to scramble to make it for the rifle, which would be, at least 1, maybe 2 rounds, because like contortionist doesn't help with speed; it helps with rolling around. Or you can keep unlocking the cells.
Yeah. Could I like cartwheel over to it faster? Now I'm playing. I'm just gonna keep doing
It
this.
would be a roll. It's a roll of athletics to get over. So
Yeah. You know
that's
what?
if you
Yeah,
want
let's
to
go
keep
for
unlock,
that.
but you have only unlocked 2 cells. Do you want to keep unlocking cells to make a bigger riot, or do you want to do
Yeah.
something else? Not to
Oh
mention when
yeah.
the prisoners come out, you can interact with the prisoner.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep unlocking the doors and tell them, hey, there's a gun over there.
Okay. So you're going to keep unlocking cells. Father, I'm going to move out of combat time and into some bigger segue time here. Father, what are you going to do now that no one's shooting at you?
But he's going to cheer on Ferdinand there with some leadership time rallying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got 3 successes.
Yeah,
Plus,
3
I think
successes. So
8
you start
or
unlocking more rapid cells. All right, go ahead and roll that. The rallying people is a tactics ability. Go ahead and make that will tactics and a bonus D12 roll.
I got team play. Does that help too or no?
Um, Oh wow, you do have team player. No, not with this because you're the main actor. Team player is like when you're being assisted by someone else.
Rafferty, is that D12 bonus from my leadership, or is that from something else?
From leadership. Because leadership gives you a bonus D12 whenever you rally people.
All right, my I don't have any dice and tactics, so I can't use a favorite use. I don't have savant.
Yeah. Right. And that's where we gave you leadership. Okay, so you're shouting, but you're not heard over the rest of the prisoner. Okay. So yeah, basically a full-blown riot's going to break out when the alarm, because eventually you'll get a couple more cells open, but then you'll hear the tramping of feet as some more guards are arriving. I need, well, we're missing Arsene from this. Can we just take a quick break? Oh, are you back?
Yeah, I would like. I don't know if you saw my messages, but some stuff came up, so maybe we can put like a stopper in this and maybe continue this at another point or something. Sorry if that's a bit abrupt or whatever, but like
I can understand it. I can understand that things come up. Well, let's have. I can do a very quick resolution of this. So if you need to watch the stream later, but basically, I think what's going to happen here is the alarm's going to go off, which they'll the sounds everywhere because that's on an electrical system that travels the whole conduit. So in the confusion, Arsene is going to be able to grab the last drawer and get out with that. So while I'm not going to worry about Arsene being able to evade people in his building because he's not where the riot is. He didn't get dosed with turpentine, and the rebels aren't going to chase him. So he's going to be able to get back to the car. Instead, let's go back to the riot. All right, so you guys have started a riot. I'm not going to bother to have you roll to open other cells. Basically, your goal is to get, I guess, out of the prison because you guys don't want to get murdered, right?
Right.
What skills do you have that are useful to getting back to the car?
I have evasion of D8, and I don't think academics would help me with my direction sense.
No, unfortunately, you don't have none of you stop to get plans. The only one who has plans to the prison isn't here. So I would suggest that an invasion, if you just want to make a run for it, it would be a roll of speed, mind, evasion, and athletics. If you guys want to try to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Hold off on the contortionist for right now because I'm assuming
Sure.
you don't want to ditch the father.
No.
Okay. So why don't the two of you make that roll as you try to get out past the rioters? Because the police come in and they have they come in with the riot gun, which are shotguns.
Question for you. Why I try to run to get out? Can I try to get the gun as well or no?
Let's see how many successes you roll. I'm assuming you prioritize escape over murder. Is that correct?
Oh, more cover fire. That makes
Right.
sense.
But I mean, if you have a choice, see how many successes you get. Because if you only score one success, if you score only one success, I'm not even going to entertain thought.
My new athletics favorite use is fleeing the scene.
You may re-roll 1-1. Okay, so I also need Fernando to make the same roll. evasion, athletics, speed, and mind.
Sure.
With 3 successes, you're able to get out of the panopticon and most of the way back to the car. So yeah, Arsene, you can go ahead and take care of what it is you need to. I can go ahead and handle the other guys.
All right, thank you. Yeah, love,
I
it's great
understand
playing with
things
you.
sometimes come up.
All right, thanks. Yeah, great playing with you guys.
Good luck
I
with
hope
everybody.
we want to introduce you. We're going to go ahead and finish the video because I want this to be an introduction to the game to folks. So we'll go ahead and play this out.
And here's my other mind. Doesn't help. Sorry.
Okay, I only see 1 die from you. That was the 1d6. You're supposed to roll your athletics, evasion, speed, and mind.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's in the text earlier. I need you to roll your speed, mind,
I see. Yeah.
athletics, and evasion. I need all of those from you. Unless you just want to fail.
I think I got 3 successes.
All right, so 4 successes would have gotten you to the car past the rioters that are coming out here because you guys don't look obviously like prisoners. 3 successes would get you most of the way to the car, and you'll get intercepted by guards who are going to ask you what's going on, and we can deal with that. If you want to stop and get the gun,
Yes.
okay, you are going to get caught up with the rioters in the. You would have to stay. You have to stop, get the rifle ready, and that sort of thing. That would be enough of a delay that you'll be stuck inside the panopticon, and you'd have to shoot your way out. Do you want to get the rifle and shoot your way out of the panopticon, or do you want to stay with the father?
I'm gonna stay with the father because I'm the driver, so we have to kind of sit
Right.
together, you know.
So you'll start running out of the panopticon, okay, and you manage to get out here and over the yard. After a while, some of the people in one of the towers will notice that you guys are running, and they'll get on the bullhorn because they don't have megaphones
Mhm.
and say, "You stop or we'll shoot." Do you surrender or keep running?
Oh, I'm just gonna scream, ride, ride.
Right, and you keep running.
Yeah, like
All right,
telling them there's a ride going on, Ride,
and what
ride.
and what about you, Father? You're going to keep running or you're going to surrender?
I'm gonna try to. But they're using bullhorn, so they're probably too far away for a trick
They're
stunt. There's going
way
to be a major
too
range
far away.
for that.
Yeah. So what are you going to do?
Let's keep running.
I need both of you to make rolls of speed evasion.
Sure.
You are shot at.
And this is versus fighting is my favorite use, so I'm.
Yep. So it doesn't count for this. All right. They can now. The good news is they can only shoot at one of you. The bad news is they're shooting at which one of you rolls the lowest. So,
Oh,
okay, I'm gonna laugh here because it's like, okay, they're shooting the lowest. So Fernando rolls all 4s, and it's like, oh no, I'm gonna get shot. No, Arcloid's lower with a 3. Arcloid, you may roll a bonus D12. So go ahead and roll a D12 for me because you were at range.
Oh yeah, I do have. What is that? Coward.
Would you like to roll a bonus D12 for being a coward?
What the hell? Oh my gosh!
Would you like to stop sucking?
I would really like to stop sucking.
All right, you were shot by a high-powered rifle.
does team play work for this or no? Like I tried to push him out the way of a bullet.
If you want to use your normally team player doesn't work for this, but this is kind of a bigger situation where we're trying to get him out. The problem is you could burn one of your successes to help him get further to the car. Like
That's
stop here, I'll delay, but then you'd be stuck in the riot. So not for this roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Arcaloid, unless you have something else to burn like personality, you've just been shot.
Already used my personality this game.
All right.
So
Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a 4-point hit. I believe you can soak that if you tap Panic Soak and Sneaky Soak.
tap them both.
All right. So you get shot. But don't stop because shooting you just makes you run faster. The two of you are going to get to the car. The trick here is that, okay, so you're going to have to get the car started, but someone's going to have to get the gate open. And I have bad news for you. The father is panicked and sneaky, so he can't go open the gate because he's too afraid to do it. That's on you. Actually, Arsene might be able to do it too. You know, in the interest of all of this, because Arsene is very stealthy, I'm gonna need Ferdinand to start the car. So Ferdinand, I need you to peel out of here, which is going to be a roll of speed, mind, and transport, and you get a bonus D12 because you're a professional driver.
Sure.
No one's paying any attention to Arsene, so he would be able to get to the gate and sabotage it.
You said bonus D12, right?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
typed in the text there. Your speed, mind, transport, and a bonus D12 because you know how to drive. Okay, that's 2 successes. So a skilled driver would be able to drive to get through the gates, but you'd still get shot at. So unfortunately, they're going to go ahead and shoot at the car. I need you to make another roll of speed and transport with a bonus D12 because you're a driver. This is the defense roll for the car. You have both your hands on the wheel, so you can try to drive evasively with the car, unless you want the car to get shot.
No, I do not.
Okay, they shoot at the car. I have an 8. Can you beat an 8 with your skill driving?
We are tied, but I do have
You are tied, which unfortunately, and the car is too big to have cover. So
Could I use my personality determined?
You want to tap your personality for this?
Yes.
You could, but your car can take 1 hit, so I would just take the hit because I'm going to shoot at you again. Do you want to use it for do you want to use it for this hit? You'd have to roll your D12. You have to roll higher than an 8.
Oh, I don't want to. I got so many payments on this car already. Oh,
you don't want your car to get hurt? You can tap your personality. What's your motto again?
Always look forward.
Yeah, so it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
All right, roll an extra D12.
Please don't fail me. Please don't fail me.
Well, you have rolled 1-1. You could take it as your favorite use of transport, driving this car, like this specific car. You could name this your favorite car in the world.
That'll be good. Yeah, I'll do that.
And I'll let you re-roll one of your ones. I would pick the D12 that rolled a 1 because that is a bigger die.
I would do that. I like that.
All right, re-roll. It's your best car.
It's my baby.
You will skid on those rubber tires and get out the front door. I need you to make another roll of speed, transport, and a D12 as your car is shot at again.
Sure.
The father is not offering you covering fire because he's a coward. You basically are heads down as they're shooting you, right?
Yep.
Right.
Oh, it's a 12. All right. This time you are hit. However, if you look in the vehicle rules, vehicles have their own personal soaks.
Yeah.
First of all, your car ignores 2 points of damage because it's made out of steel.
Mm-hmm.
And every car has cosmetic soak, which is you can tap it to stop 2 more points of damage. So I hit you for 4. You ignore 2 because of your steel car, and then you take another 2 because of cosmetic damage. So you tap cosmetic soak, your car has bullet holes in it. So if anyone looks for you later, you've got bullet holes in your car.
Okay.
If you take another hit, something will break.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is you managed to peel out, and they stopped shooting at you because they're shooting at Prisoner Rioter. And you managed to drive off into the night.
I just narrow my eyes at the father. Father, I have sinned.
Yeah, father's gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a story to tell the police.
Yeah. Oh yes.
When you
I'm
get
sure
back,
he can get out of it.
yeah, when you get back to the city, you manage to go through the file drawer that Arsene stole, and yeah, because you guys didn't do any. You didn't have any streetwise in your party or any digging any skills. But yes, Frankie Labrazio is actually Francesco Valentino and was filed under V and not L. So you do find a matching file from him that does list his it lists his monikers in there, also known as Frankie Labrazio. So you find it. You would have found it eventually, just would have taken. Whoever those weirdo rebels are is a story for Arsene. The only name he got out of them was Bob. But that could have gone a lot worse. Oh, and of course, when you guys go read the paper the next day, there's a fire at the prison.
Nice.
Because they were going to give up, and then they said, "Hey, there's a riot going on. Well, we'll get something else to burn. There's paper here." So, yeah, fire at the prison, big riot, gunplay. It's all horrible news. Lots of people injured, some people killed. How
Wait,
do you
did they
sleep
burn?
at night, Father Beauregard?
After a warm cup of milk and a prayer to God.
Well, the police are probably going to come by and talk to you as a person of interest, but they don't know who Ferdinand is. So, or Arsene, because no one saw him except for the rebels. So, and Johnny at the gate. That would be, but that's a problem for future Beauregard. Stefano is happy for you to turn over the record to him. Although he says technically this could be lost in a fire, but I'm going to hold on to this anyway because I've got reasons for that. You guys did great. Here's your $500. And most importantly, in the game, there's also an opinion mechanic. The opinion of the Bonaviri family has gone up, and you have gained a D6 opinion, positive opinion with the Bonaviris.
Nice.
You now have a minus D6 opinion with the police, as they do not like you. Even though they didn't see you, I can only apply this negative opinion if they figure out what you've been up to. So Father Beau has the negative opinion because he's on the record, but you other guys are just people of interest. So that's opinion dice. They are tracked for the different intrigues that go on the game. They have a bigger purpose in occult horror where if supernatural creatures like or dislike you, it has effects on how much their power works. So congratulations, you've accomplished the goal. I'm going to give all of you the gift. So go ahead and erase the goal of get the Labrazio file because you succeeded. And I'm going to give all of you the gift of Streetwise.
Nice.
Because you interacted with a whole bunch of criminals, and because also I, as the game host, think you watch the game thinking what would be a logical thing that you would learn from this, and especially would need for future encounters. And I'm guessing, okay, you've gone from street crooks to made people. In order to be made people, you would have Streetwise. You would be able to recognize criminals. You can keep this gift, or you can retrain it to get another 5 experience points. So now we're going to go ahead and move into the debriefing part of this, where we're going to go ahead and ask some things about your characters. So did anyone accomplish any of their personal goals?
I'd say my entire trip here as the distraction had the secondary goal of winning a lost soul.
Well, I'm not sure I would call somebody convincing someone to stab their their ally as winning a soul, unless you meant for the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you that reward But since most of what you did was run around and cry like a coward, I'm going to give you the gift of distress soak.
Might I interject if you don't mind?
Interject away. It's debriefing time.
I am a drifter. He kind of gave me a home, so to speak. So I think my goal will fulfill my short-term one, as well as he's converted me to stay a lost soul, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm still giving you the gift of distress soak.
Okay.
Oh, well, I was giving that to Father Bo. Father
Okay.
Bo gets. For your soul being one, that's a good question. I should normally give somebody a gift that they really need. Hmm. You know what? You actually wanted to use weapons. You actually wanted to shoot people. I'm going to go ahead and give Ferdinand here the gift of veteran. Veteran means that when you fight, if you take aiming actions and guarding actions, you get bigger bonuses than otherwise. When the shooters were shooting at you, they were gaining D8 bonuses to hit you by spending an extra action to aim at you. If
Right.
you have the gift of veteran, that bonus goes up to D12.
Thank you.
Because you wanted to shoot the rifle, you had trial by fire, and you also are more murderer. Whereas the priest, I think, was talking other people into doing stuff. Now, you can keep these gifts or you can sell them back. You can retrain them for an extra 5 experience points. Also, during the debriefing, we have people reread their mottos. So, Arkloyd, what was your motto again?
Lord, grant me wisdom.
Well, that was wisdom of starting a riot. So I'm going to give you 1 experience point for staying within the spirit of your motto. It's not that, we're not here to be lawyers about this. It's like, did he do anything that wasn't appropriate to his character? And the answer is no. So speaking of that, hey, Ferd, what is your motto?
My motto is just keep looking forward.
That's what you did. You got in the car, just kept looking forward as they shot up your beautiful car.
Yes.
One of my favorite quotes in the rule book is, if you can find a mechanic that will buff out bullet holes, you tip them.
Yeah.
So that's definitely worth a 1 experience point for you. So each of you has 1 experience point, and you survived today's adventure. Congratulations. So by surviving an adventure, you also get 1 experience point. So each of you has 2 experience points.
Nice.
With 10 experience points, you can increase an attribute. You could also buy a new gift. There's another rule in the game I like to use called skill marks, which is you can spend 4 experience points to buy a D4 in a skill you already don't have. So you can buy your skills up separately if you don't want to. So 4 points to buy up 1 skill, or 10 points to buy up your career, which is 3 skills. Some people like to at least, you may also notice there was that favorite rule in the game that if you at least have a die in it, you can get a favored use. So some people just like buy a rank of shooting just so they can have a favorite gun. But also, you may have noticed you come out of the gate with lots of stuff. Plus, also, Arkloyd came out with 5 experience points already because of the doubling up. So you could use it to buy new stuff. Also, during the debriefing, I asked questions. I'm sad Lord Zeppelin had to leave a little bit early, but this is when we ask folks questions about how the game went. Did anything happen that you didn't understand? Do you have any rules questions? What questions do you have for me?
Well, I just want to say I'm sorry that I got that rule wrong about the duplicate gift.
Yeah, we tried really hard to keep those from stacking, but yeah, the rule in Urban Jungle is you just retrain it for 5 experience points. Otherwise people started looking for combinations to stack, and it was getting a little cumbersome. So no worries. Hey, we learn as we go. It's also, I don't think we signposted that rule as well as we could, but that's why we have the debriefing.
Other than that, I think it was very clever how you got us all together, such disparate character types into one
Yes.
cohesive unit. It's kind of difficult, so congratulations on that, Ralph. That was very clever.
Yeah. You did it so seamlessly too. It was awesome.
Well, I have a lot of building blocks I like to use for different adventures, and I like to see how they play out. Like, I'm a little unusual as game masters go, where I don't like to penalize players if they're successful. Like, I've heard some GMs say, like, "Oh man, they're having too easy of a time of it. I gotta figure out some way to make all of this go worse." And that kind of gives me a bad feeling, because it's like, if you guys built a character to do something, and then you went and did that thing, then it should work.
Mhm.
I mean, you're making your die rolls. You're honestly approaching the problem rational. So even though this adventure is written that it could go south and get much uglier much quickly, you guys had thieves and smooth talkers and an excuse to be in there and all that kind of stuff, and it went relatively smoothly and went relatively quickly. And I think that should be rewarded. I think it's a bummer if no matter what you do, everything turns to ashes. So
Right.
and you guys just happen to have the appropriate character for this adventure. Notice there are a lot of times where I ask you, okay, roll these dice, and you would say, I have these dice, and you would roll them. If you were a different character, you wouldn't have had all this evasion or all this observation or all this negotiation. And then you would have been trying to do stuff outside your wheelhouse. You could still possibly do it, but you wouldn't be good at it. And I think we're not, as I'm fond of saying, this isn't Oblivion.
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad everybody enjoyed that. This was designed to be a pretty, intro adventure. So we are done slightly before 5 o'clock. We were budgeted until 5 o'clock today. So I'd like to thank everybody for showing up today. Urban Jungle is for sale in your better retail outlets and some of your shadier ones. We also sell it on Drive-Thru and Studio 2. We have supplements for this. We have the Astounding Science supplement, which is weirdo gadgets and sci-fi, which we demonstrated on this channel. And we also had a long-running occult horror campaign, which we have the tools for, where you can play 1920s and 30s pulp horror for your Cthulhu needs and Karnaki needs and that kind of stuff. And we got some more books coming out in the Urban Jungle line. More word on when we get those. We're working on the drive-in book that we also demonstrated here, and that's a little far away. Plus, also we make stuff like Iron Claw. Very nice for our host Theta here to post. Oh no, Iron Claw! I've got a list of all these different stacks you can do to maximize your character. And I'm like, yes, I know. We love you. So yeah, thanks for everybody for coming. sanguinegames.com. We're working on some other stuff too, and thank you for your support.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for including me. I hope I was more of a help than a hindrance.
Hey,
Thank
you
you.
guys are, it's always great. You guys are always big boosters of the game, and I'm glad to see the characters you make. Every one of these is an emergent adventure.